Feeling this way, popping
I wish everyone wasn't so good. It seemed like a fun idea to read in this show until everyone was so good. But I said I would, so I'm going to do it. All right. My home is in a residential neighborhood in Glendale. One of my most consistent habits is walking around my neighborhood like a retiree and observing the extremely minor details that have changed in people's yards. It's very exciting to me. My husband occasionally gets frustrated because I'll say, "Oh," as though I've received life-changing news, and the news will be, "I saw that golden retriever near the library again. He's bigger now." So I was really excited when a giant skeleton moved in down the street. It's one of the 12-foot ones that became an internet craze after they sold out at Home Depot a couple years ago. But I'm not really on the internet in that way, so I didn't know about that. All I knew is that kind of early last October, a big pair of legs and a pelvic bone appeared in a hedge down the street. Then a spine and a rib cage were added. And for a few days, that was just it, just a tall spine standing on the side of the road. Finally, the rest of the body was added, making a complete, gigantic skeleton. What an addition to the neighborhood. I had the incredibly unsatisfying experience of reporting this skeleton to some people who immediately informed me that it was a viral skeleton. That more or less ruined it for me. And I was curious why this bothered me so much. I think it's because before I knew it was a viral skeleton, I was delighted to imagine what sick freaks wanted to put up a body bit by bit outside a house that I would otherwise describe as very HGTV. Where did they get it? Do they just love bones? Are they trying to scare someone? Why did they do this? Sadly, knowing that this was a viral skeleton gave me answers to all of these questions. Where did they get it? Home Depot. Do they love bones? Probably not. Are they trying to scare someone? No, the skeleton is not intended to be scary. It's supposed to be funny. Why did they do this? They saw it on the internet. And that's kind of sad to me. I've been trying to be less of a naysaying misanthrope when it comes to the internet because it's here to stay, and I know that and I also know that the Arab Spring wouldn't have been possible without it. But aside from the ways in which it's reducing all of our brains to just the small malfunctioning parts, I think what's saddest to me about it is the fact that it can explain away the viral skeletons of the world. It makes everything a thing. I recently went to Disneyland and had my picture taken with Goofy. Goofy, I think in an attempt to do something goofy, unzipped my fanny pack. I was wearing it in its traditional spot on my sort of soft lower stomach, and Goofy, with his big gloved hand and surprising dexterity, grabbed the zipper and just zipped it open. He then proceeded to rhythmically zip it and unzip it, while the Disney cast members snapped photos like nothing unusual was happening. I guess it was kind of a goofy thing to do. It was also mildly unsettling, and I think about this interaction weekly. I have many questions about it. Primarily, why did he do that? A few days ago, I Googled Goofy unzipped my fanny pack at Disneyland. I was afraid I might find a meme or a dance where all the costumed characters in Disneyland were opening people's personal property. But I didn't find anything. I tried, can costume characters open your bags at Disneyland? Nothing. I tried bad Goofy, Disneyland. Nothing but a Reddit AMA with a Goofy who was terminated after knocking a child down during a fight with Donald Duck. Was what I experienced a small, strange, unrepeatable moment, or was it a thing I just didn't know about? Based on my Google searches, it did not seem to be a thing. My questions remained. And I'm sure part of this is thanks to the Disney Corporation scrubbing the internet of anything controversial. But no matter the reason, I'm pleased that this moment continues to be unexplained. That I can continue to imagine a hairy Disney employee inside Goofy's costume at the end of a long day, out of Goofy things to do, who in a moment of desperation just thought, I don't know, maybe I'll open this lady's purse. I think my desire to not have things explained is interesting given my tendency to chronically over-explain myself. Last weekend, I was getting a haircut, and I was walking towards the back of the salon at the same time as the receptionist, and I felt the need to tell her, I'm going to the bathroom, not following you. I watch the eyes of people who I know love me glaze over as I explain why I can't hang out on Saturday night, even though I technically don't have plans. It's that I do have plans, but the time hasn't been set yet, so I wanted to leave Saturday night open in case the hang, which I think is an afternoon hang, ends up being in the evening. And I could ask, but the friends I'm hanging out with have been having a busy month, so I don't want to bother them and make them feel pressure. So anyway, that's why I said I couldn't hang on Saturday night. It's important you know that. Nobody enjoys having this much information. It causes dear friends of mine to do that thing where you smile, but you can't help the slight concern behind your eyes that says, I didn't realize before, but you're crazy now. I think this over-explaining is an attempt to control people's opinion of me and to try to anticipate anything negative they might think about me and get ahead of it. Leaving people unsure feels like a risk, like they'll somehow assume the worst. But what I realize is that A, most of my behaviors are mundane enough that they require little to no explanation. And B, I'm robbing people of exactly the experience that I enjoy and the internet is taking away from me. The experience of getting to wonder why the fuck someone is doing something. Having those questions is part of the pleasure of being alive, and using the internet to explain everything, to catalog it into a type of phenomenon or behavior is taking that pleasure away. And I know I'm taking a lot of pleasure away from a lot of people when I pause dinner to explain why I'm ordering vegan even though I'm not vegan. I'm just trying an 80-20 thing. I'm not specifically that because I don't like to think of my food in numbers, but kind of that idea. You get it. The viral skeleton is still up in my neighborhood. The skeleton's family put a little scarf on it for the winter holidays. And they gave it a little shamrock to hold for St. Patrick's Day. And I have to say, I don't like it. I don't find it charming. It doesn't make me smile. It all just kind of annoys me. Because now when I see it, the mystery is gone. And now I've seen memes. I've seen good memes of this skeleton doing stuff way better than holding a shamrock. I loved one that simply had the big skeleton wearing a human-sized apron that only went down to where I imagine his belly button would be. So anyway, the skeleton's ruined. But instead of having anger towards the internet or my nice neighbors who just wanted to put up a decoration, I want to see this as a call of action for myself, for less context, less explanation. In my own life, to be more of a purse-opening Goofy than a viral skeleton. Thanks.